All over the world, 5 billion barcodes are scanned every single day. And in this supermarket, there are thousands and thousands of barcodes. Look, there's one here. And look, another one here. In fact, almost every item in a supermarket has a barcode printed on it. Can you see, if you look closely, the barcode is made up of lots of thin black lines. It makes a pattern of black and white stripes that look a little bit like a zebra. And then if you look underneath the lines, there are lots of numbers. This is called the barcode number. Every type of product in the supermarket has a different barcode with a different number. These packs of bananas have the same barcode because they're the same product. When we go to pay for our shopping, all the barcodes can be scanned at the checkout. The checkout has a computer inside, and underneath this glass panel, there's a machine called a scanner that looks and reads the barcodes. The items come down the conveyor belt, and Roberta will pass the barcode over the scanner. And that's my favourite part. Did you hear it? It went beep. But how does the scanner read the barcode? And how does the computer tell us what the item is and how much it costs? I think we need to take a closer look. When the barcode is passed over the scanner, it shines a red LED light onto the barcode. The LED light reflects back off the barcode and into a sensor. The sensor makes a pattern of electrical pulses to match the pattern of the barcode stripes. Inside the scanner, the pulses are changed into numbers. 0 for the white stripes and 1 for the black stripes. This is called a digital signal. The digital signal is changed into a 13-number barcode, which is sent to a computer. The computer has thousands of barcode numbers stored in its memory, and each number matches an item. When the computer matches the barcode number with the correct number in its memory, it tells us what the item is and how much it costs. Wasn't that brilliant? But did you know that the barcodes also help the supermarkets keep all of the shelves stacked with all the right things at the right time? Let's find out how. I really want 4 cans of this soup, but there's only 1 can left. Now, the supermarket might have some more soup that they could put on the shelf for me to buy, but how do we know? Well, we can use the barcode. The shop assistants can scan the barcodes using an app on their mobile phones called a barcode reader. This sends a message to the supermarket computer to check if there are any more cans of soup left. And it says that yes, there are more in the warehouse that's just behind the shop. Let's go see if we can find it. This is the warehouse where all of the items that are waiting to go on the shelves are kept. Ah, here we are. These look like our cans of soup, but I'm going to check. Yep, they're the same ones. I'm going to put my special camera on this cage so we can follow the soup cans into the supermarket where they'll get put on the right shelf. Here we go. And now I can take my 4 cans of soup to the checkout. Where the barcodes are scanned. The computer can then tell us what the items are and how much they cost. All I have to do now is pay for all my shopping. I've come to a factory where lots of hand dryers are designed and tested. There are lots of different types of hand dryers, aren't there? There are some with a button to push, and some that come on automatically. And that means when we put our hands underneath, the hand dryer will turn on without us even having to press a button, like this. Oh, it makes a great sound, doesn't it? It sounds like an aeroplane taking off. But how does the hand dryer know when our hands are underneath? And how does it turn on to blow the warm air out automatically? I think we need to take a closer look.
Underneath the hand dryer is a sensor which shines a beam of light called infrared light. When we put our hands under the hand dryer, the light bounces back off our hands to another sensor. This tells the hand dryer our hands are underneath and it switches on. Inside the hand dryer is a motor powered by electricity. The motor spins a fan, which sucks air from outside in through the vents underneath. As the air moves over a heating element, it's warmed up, and the warm air is pushed downwards very fast out through the vent at the bottom. When we first put our hands under, a blast of air blows a lot of water droplets away from our hands. Then the warm air heats up the water left on our hands, turning it to steam. As it turns to steam, it moves away from our hands. This is called evaporation, leaving our hands nice and dry.
That's really clever, isn't it? Shall we take a look inside a hand dryer to see it working? Wow, look at that. Oh, and can you see the sensors? That's what turns the hand dryer on. Oh, shall we see the sensors working?
It's working. The invisible infrared light has bounced off my hand to the sensor.
When I put my hand underneath, the light turned red, and when I took it away, it turned blue again.
Next, the inner cover has been taken off.
Now we can see all of the parts inside the hand dryer, and this round bit is the motor.
And when the hand dryer turns on, the motor spins a fan.
And this is called the heating element. And if you look closely, you can see a silver wire that wraps around the heating element. That heats up. And when the air is blown past it, the air heats up too, and it helps to dry our hands really quickly. To show you just how quickly the heating element inside the hand dryer will heat the air up, I'm going to use my special camera. And this is a thermal camera, and it shows us how hot or cold things are. Can you see that at the moment the hand dryer is dark blue? That means that it's cold. Let's see how quickly the hand dryer warms up when I put my hands under the dryer. Ready?
Look, the colours are changing as the air heats up.
Oh, wow, look at that. Can you see the middle of the hand dryer where the heating element is bright white? That's because it's the hottest part of the hand dryer. The warm air helps to dry our hands really quickly, but most of the water on our hands is actually blown away at speeds of around 200 miles per hour. That's as fast as a race car going round a track.
Let's see that in action through my special slow-motion camera, which shows things slowed right down. Look at that! The air is so fast, it's blowing the water droplets away.
It's even making the skin on my hands wobble. The skin's moving like jelly. And there we go. Clean and dry hands.
To find out how electricity is made from the wind, I've come here to a wind farm.
A wind farm is where lots of wind turbines produce lots of electricity. And you find them in windy places like this.
The higher a wind turbine, the windier it is. And the windier it is, the faster the blades will turn around to make more electricity. At the top of every wind turbine, there are 3 giant propeller blades. 1, 2, 3. They look like the propeller blades you might see on a plane, don't they? And they make a great swishing sound as they swish through the air.
The blades have a special curved shape, which helps the wind move the blades round and round.
Now, if you look closely at the middle, the part where all the blades are attached, can you see that circle shape? It's called the spinner because it spins around when the blades move. And the spinner is attached to the main body part called the nacelle.
The nacelle can turn so that the blades are always facing the way the wind is blowing. Let me show you with this little windmill.
When I face the windmill in the direction of the wind, it spins really fast. But when I turn it away from the wind, it stops. If I turn it to face the wind again, look, there it goes. That's because the wind is catching the blades and that's making them turn around. And exactly the same thing is happening all the way up there. But how do the wind turbines make electricity from the wind? To find out, I think we need to take a closer look.
At the top of the wind turbine is something called a yaw system. The yaw system tells the blades which direction to face to catch the most wind. As the wind blows, the blades turn around. The blades are connected to big rings of magnets. And as the blades turn, they turn the rings of magnets around coils of copper wire. The turning makes energy in the copper wire, and this energy is called an electric current or electricity, and this is measured in volts. The stronger the electricity is, the more volts it has. The electricity travels through cables inside the tower to a machine called a transformer. It changes the weaker volts of electricity to stronger volts so that it can go further. The electricity travels to 2 different substations, which make it even stronger. Then it's sent along cables on pylons and delivered to our houses for us to use.
How clever is that? We can make electricity from wind. I wonder what it looks like from all the way at the top of a wind turbine. Shall we find out? Andrew is a service technician, and Andrew's specially trained to go all the way to the top. Now, I'm going to give Andrew one of my special cameras, and I've also put one on his hard hat, and then we can watch everything that's going on inside the wind turbine on this screen just here. Andrew, over to you. This is so exciting.
Before Andrew can go up, the turbine has to be turned off.
From the ground to the top of the turbine, it's 90 metres.
That's almost as tall as Big Ben.
Wow! The tower is so tall, Andrew has to go up in a lift. There he goes, and it's a long way up. It will take about 5 minutes for Andrew to get to the top. It is so high up there. Oh, I think Andrew's reached the top. Did you see that? Oh, Andrew's waving. Wow. And can you see all of those wind turbines in the distance? We can see for miles and miles, can't we?
Now Andrew is safely clipping his harness so that he can look at the blades.
And they're 55 metres long. The view up there is absolutely incredible. What an amazing job Andrew has.
Now Andrew's back inside. Look, there's the generator. It has the magnets and copper wires inside that make the electricity.
The The electricity travels underground through the cables and it arrives here at the substation. And this is where the electricity from all of the wind turbines is collected.
It's then sent through overhead cables attached to these huge metal towers, called pylons.
Can you see the cables? The pylons go for hundreds and hundreds of miles all over the country, delivering electricity to our homes, buildings and shops, ready for us to use.
Take a look at this fridge here. It's just like the one we have in our kitchen, but this one's had a few pieces taken away, so we can get a better look at how it works. Can you see? All the way around the fridge door, there's this piece of rubber. It's called the seal. And inside the seal, there's a magnet. And the magnet helps to keep the fridge door shut. And the seal keeps the cold air inside the fridge sealed in and the warm air outside the fridge sealed out. But I really like the noise it makes. Listen to this. It's like a suction noise, isn't it?
You mustn't try to get to the back of your fridge at home, so I'm going to show you what it looks like and how it works.
A fridge needs power to work, so it's plugged into an electric socket. And the electricity is needed to power this machine here. It's called a compressor.
The compressor is a type of pump which moves gas around the fridge to keep it cool.
So this is where a gas enters the compressor, and that is where it leaves it. The pipe that comes out of the compressor snakes back and forward all the way to the top of the fridge and all the way back down again. That's a lot of pipes, but eventually the pipe goes inside the fridge.
This fridge has had its plastic lining removed inside, so we can see where the pipe goes next. It snakes around the top part of the fridge and then back down again to the compressor. In total, the pipe is 35 metres long. That's nearly as long as 8 family cars.
But how does that pipe work to keep the fridge nice and cold? To find out, I think we need to take a closer look.
At the back of the fridge, inside the pipe, is a special liquid called refrigerant. This travels through a part called the expansion valve, where it's pushed through really quickly, turning it from a liquid into a vapour. As the vapour flows through the pipe inside the fridge, it absorbs and removes heat from the food inside, and this turns the vapour into a gas. It's called evaporation. It keeps the fridge and the food inside cold too. Then the gas travels to the compressor. The compressor pushes the hot gas out through a pipe, which squeezes the gas molecules together. And as the molecules move closer together, the gas cools and turns back into a liquid. This is called condensing. The liquid refrigerant moves through the pipe at the back of the fridge, ready to start the whole process again.
Wasn't that interesting? I'm going to show you how cold it gets inside the fridge using my special camera. This is a thermal imaging camera, and it shows me how hot or cold things are by showing different colours. So these grapes, let's see what colour they are on the camera. Oh, look! The grapes look yellow and a little bit orange. That's because they're quite warm out here on the kitchen table. The milk has been in the fridge, so what colour do you think it's going to be? Look at that! The grapes are yellow, but the milk is dark blue. And that's because it is much, much colder. So what do you think will happen if I put the grapes in the fridge? What colour will they be then? Whoa, inside the fridge, it looks dark, solid blue. What colour do you think the grapes will turn if I leave them in the fridge for a few minutes? Shall we find out? Now, you mustn't do this with your camera at home, but I've got special permission to put the thermal camera inside the fridge so I can show you the grapes cooling down. To make the grapes colder, the compressor is pumping the special refrigerant liquid around those condenser pipes at the back of the fridge. Inside the pipes in the fridge, the refrigerant is turning into a gas as it absorbs the heat and takes away the warmth from the grapes. And then that gas goes back down to the compressor, where it's turned back into a liquid again. And it keeps going round and round and round. Right, the grapes have been in there for a few minutes. Should we see what they look like on the thermal camera? Look! The grapes have been inside the fridge for a few minutes, so they've cooled down, and now they look blue. How clever is that? I loved seeing how fridges work. What was your favourite part?
Do you remember the name of the machine that pumps the refrigerant around the fridge? That's right, it's called a compressor. Did you hear the sound the fridge door made when it opened and closed?
Like a suction noise, isn't it?
And did you see how the fridge made the grapes turn from yellow and orange to blue on my special camera?